Hey guys, and welcome back to Tanuri X movie review. I haven't done one in a while, but as you know, if I'm going to do a movie review, it's generally going to be about a deep and meaningful movie. A movie that kind of touches on the heartstrings. A movie that has some semblance in reality. And if anything, it's going to be a movie that allows us to better understand ourselves, humanity, people in general. And in doing so, maybe give us an opportunity to kind of resonate with the character or the characters and learn something about ourselves as a result. And this movie is an example of that. So when I first saw the title, The Peanut Butter Falcon, I was sitting there wondering, okay, I've seen the trailer and I have a basic idea of what this movie is about. But how the hell does a peanut butter falcon, what is that? And how does that apply to the movie? And I like to sometimes look at the title of a movie and see how it kind of makes sense in the context of the movie. And I just want to say that in this particular movie, it is actually a really beautiful connection, and I really, really enjoy it. And I think having said this, when you watch the movie, I think you'll appreciate it too. It's a really touching moment, and it just kind of, it really fills out the story for me as well in terms of the title of the movie. So Peanut Butter Falcon, starring Shia LeBeouf, Zack Gottsagen, and Dakota Johnson. And basically a movie about a Down syndrome young man who is being forced to stay in an old age home or a care facility. And the community or the society believe that he can't take care of himself, and they kind of force him to be a part of this care community or this old age home. And basically he just wants to escape. He doesn't want to be there. He's only 22 years old. He wants to explore the world. He has dreams and desires that he wants to pursue, and they kind of just push him in this box. And ultimately he does escape, and having escaped through a really cute enjoyable way, you'll see how that happens. And he meets an interesting character in the name of Tyler, at least in the form of Tyler, who's played by Shia LeBeouf's character. And this particular individual is kind of running away from some nefarious characters because of something that he's done as well. And in finding each other, they kind of help to find themselves and help one another to find themselves. So it's a beautiful, touching story. Beautiful story about when we're in the doldrums of our lives sometimes, and in difficult times in our life, we can meet these people in our lives that can help us to discover what it is, perhaps what it is we're meant to be doing, or perhaps what it is we should be placing more of our emphasis on. And I think for me, that was kind of a really powerful theme of the film. Also, obviously, this idea that we can really, there's an opportunity to really help people, to give back, to allow people to achieve their dreams. And in doing so, fulfill something within ourselves, this ability to give back, this ability to find some semblance of purpose or meaning in our lives. And there's an aspect of that in the story. There's this really pivotal and beautiful scene in the movie where all three of the lead characters that I've mentioned are sitting on a boat. And Shia LeBeouf's character helps Eleanor, Dakota Johnson's character, realize something that I think people do in life as well. People that have good intentions, they kind of put limitations on people. And they're so worried about people that they almost want to like wrap them up in bubble wrap, and they don't want them to do anything for fear that they would hurt themselves. And that's kind of like what Eleanor's character has been doing for poor Zack most of the time that she's known him, looking after him at this care facility. Basically not letting him do anything, not letting him explore anything because of the fear of, I guess, how people would treat him, as well as of him potentially making mistakes. And I think what Shia LeBeouf's character helps him to realize is how important it is to allow him to be himself, to express himself, to be who he is, to make those mistakes so he can discover himself, and doing so in a loving and supportive environment, and not being so overly protective, because in doing so you don't really allow someone to make those mistakes, to discover themselves. And that for me was really a pivotal point in the movie. But yeah, overall, just a beautiful movie, a character study, you know, a story about people, and their issues, a story about people, their issues, and how they can overcome these issues in discovering themselves and being unafraid to just go for it. And I love movies like this, you know, more independent films with, you know, smaller budgets and more about telling a story about people and characters. So if you want to watch a really beautiful film, I recommend you watch this movie, The Peanut Butter Falcon. So overall, again, I'm going to recommend really deep and meaningful movies, movies that make you think, movies that perhaps to some extent you can see yourself in those characters, and seeing yourself in those characters can help you to kind of push forward through perhaps a difficulty that you're having in your life. Allow it to be the inspiration that you need to become the new, better you. And those are the kind of movies that I recommend. Those are the kind of movies that I review and hope that you will watch. So if you do watch it, put your comments down below. Let me know what you thought about the movie. And yeah, hope to see you again sometime soon in a future video. Anyways, till then, ciao for now.